They say that beneath the sands of Egypt lies a structure so complex that even the Great Pyramids pale in comparison. A lost monument spoken of by ancient scholars, but missing from every map, buried so deep that no one alive has seen it, said it changed them forever. But those who claimed they did, the Greek historian Herodotus called it a marvel far beyond the pyramids, or a prison of forbidden knowledge, a vast underground maze filled with thousands of halls, chambers, and secrets. Others described it as a temple of ancient gods. But here's the question. If it was real, why is there almost nothing left of it today? Why would Egypt hide a structure so legendary, even from its own people? In today's video, we'll descend into the mystery of the Lost Labyrinth of Egypt, a puzzle buried under miles of sand, wrapped in silence, protected by time. And as we pull back each layer, you might begin to see why some believe this place was never meant to be found. In 2008, a team of researchers used radar to scan the Earth near the Pyramid of Amenhotep III. What they found shocked them. Beneath the surface lay what appeared to be a grid of massive chambers, perfectly aligned, buried, silent. They called it the most astonishing discovery never spoken of. And then, without explanation, the project was shut down. Reports were buried. Access was denied. The silence returned. And maybe, just maybe, this isn't just a lost monument. This is a story of cover-ups, of hidden history, a warning left behind by a civilization long gone. In this journey, we'll trace ancient testimonies, follow the trail of forbidden excavations, and confront the chilling possibility that Egypt's greatest secret was deliberately hidden, not to protect it from us, but to protect us from it. So stay close, because once you enter the labyrinth, there may be no way back. Long before modern science, before satellite scans and ground-penetrating radar, there were the eyewitnesses. Men who walked the ancient world, who claimed they stood before the labyrinth, was unlike anything ever built by human hands, and entered its endless halls. And what they described, the first was Herodotus, the Greek historian known as the father of history, and stretched across 12 massive courtyards, all roofed and walled in stone. But the lower, the priests would not allow me to enter. They claimed the tombs of ancient kings and sacred crocodiles were buried there. In the 5th century BCE, he journeyed to Egypt and recorded what he saw with meticulous detail. According to him, the labyrinth stood near the city of Crocodilopolis, yes, a city named after sacred crocodiles. He wrote, "I found it surpasses even the pyramids. It has 3,000 rooms, half underground, the other above. The upper level I saw with my own eyes. Why were the lower levels forbidden? And more importantly, why did Herodotus say that what he saw defied belief?" Then came Strabo, a Roman geographer writing centuries later. He too described the labyrinth, but with subtle changes. He claimed it had columns of astonishing scale and walls made from a single stone. He called it a place of trickery, designed to confuse and imprison those who entered without guidance. A structure so perfectly constructed that no two rooms were the same, and every passage looped back upon itself, a trap or a test? Diodorus Siculus, another ancient writer, added something even more chilling. He said the labyrinth was built by a race of kings who feared what would happen if their knowledge were lost. So they carved their wisdom into the walls in a code. Thousands of symbols, warnings, maps, prophecies. According to him, they believed the world would forget their greatness, and only the worthy would rediscover it. Or worse, they feared that someone might uncover what was never meant to return. But here's where the mystery deepens. Not a single one of these ancient texts agrees on exactly what the labyrinth was, or where it ended. Some say it was a temple, others a tomb, and a few whispered that it was a prison, not for men, but for something else. So many ancient writers, so many accounts. Yet today, Egypt's official records list nothing. No monument, no relic, no effort to preserve the site. How could a structure this massive, described by the greatest minds of antiquity, just vanish? Unless someone wanted it to. In the next chapter, we'll go beneath the surface, literally, and uncover what modern technology has accidentally revealed, and why it was buried all over again. If the ancient labyrinth really existed, where is it now? Where are its stones, its halls, its bones? Why has it disappeared, swallowed whole by the earth? The answer may lie here, in the shadow of the pyramid of Amenhotep III, at a site called Hawara, just outside the Fayum region. This desolate stretch of desert has been hiding something for thousands of years. In 2008, a team of researchers from Belgium and Egypt teamed up for a groundbreaking expedition. They weren't digging, they were scanning. Using ground-penetrating radar, they swept the sands near Hawara, and what they found stunned them. Beneath the surface was a vast geometric structure, an enormous rectangular grid stretching over 300 meters long. Cavities, chambers, walls, perfectly aligned. It was buried deep, and it matched the dimensions and descriptions passed down from Herodotus and others. The discovery was so significant, the team presented it at a major archaeological conference in Cairo. Plans were made. Funding was discussed. For the first time in centuries, the labyrinth might finally be within reach. And then, nothing. The project was suddenly shut down. The findings were never published in Egypt's official archaeological records. The radar maps were sealed away, and access to the site was quietly restricted. The researchers released a small report online, but it was quickly buried under digital noise. No major media coverage, no government response, just silence. One of the scientists later claimed they were told to leave it alone. That digging further could destabilize the site. Beneath the sand? But what could be so dangerous? It wasn't the first time this happened. In 1888, famed explorer Flinders Petrie excavated the area and found massive stone blocks, strange inscriptions, and mutilated statues. But even he admitted, something deeper lies below, something I could not reach, and no one has. Since. Is the labyrinth buried in plain sight? Are we standing on top of history's greatest secret and being told to look the other way? If this is your first time hearing about the Egyptian labyrinth, you're not alone. It's been erased from textbooks, hidden from headlines. But the evidence is there, waiting to be seen, waiting to be questioned. So if you believe the past still holds secrets, if you want to go deeper beneath the surface, then hit subscribe now and stay with us. Because in the next chapter, we enter the realm of forbidden theories, missing explorers, and ancient knowledge that may have been locked away for a reason. A vanished monument, a government silence, a discovery buried again. It begs the question, what are they afraid of? Over the years, whispers have spread, not just from curious historians or fringe theorists, but from people inside archaeology, military, and science, who suggest that the labyrinth wasn't just a monument. It was a vault, a sealed container built to hide something mankind wasn't ready to find again. Some theories claim the labyrinth held pre-dynastic technology tools, or knowledge far more advanced than anything ancient Egypt was supposed to possess. Machines of impossible precision that didn't match Earth's known history or records. Could this be why the lower chambers were forbidden, even in ancient times? One controversial theory suggests that the labyrinth predates the Egyptian dynasties entirely, that it was not built by Amenhotep III, but merely repurposed by him, and that the true builders were from a civilization wiped out in a global catastrophe. Sound far-fetched? Then why do the oldest Egyptian texts refer to a forgotten race of first-time beings, creators of temples, keepers of cosmic order, who vanished without a trace. Another theory draws a line between the labyrinth and Atlantis. Plato described the Atlantean temple complex as vast, symmetrical, and hidden in a great plain, strikingly similar to Hawara. What if the labyrinth wasn't just Egyptian? One erased from memory? What if it was the last relic of an older world? And then there's the cover-up. Why was the 2008 radar data locked away? Why has no major excavation taken place since? Some claim the Egyptian government, under pressure from global institutions, deliberately restricted access to preserve the narrative of linear human history, suggesting that secret organizations may be involved. Others go further, that underground structures have already been accessed, but not disclosed, and that some who got too close never came back. In 1965, a team of amateur diggers disappeared while exploring an unauthorized site near Fayum. Their equipment was found. Their bodies were not. No official report was filed. The incident was erased from local news. But old-timers in the region still speak of that day, in hushed tones. Maybe the labyrinth isn't just an archaeological site. Maybe it's a warning system built to trap something that should never be set free. Or maybe it's not abandoned at all. Maybe it's still occupied. And share this video with someone who thinks they know how old our world really is. These are the questions you're not supposed to ask. These are the stories you won't find in textbooks. But we're not here for safe answers. So if you're drawn to what lies beneath history's surface, tap like, hit subscribe, because in our final chapter, we'll examine the evidence that suggests the labyrinth was found and sealed again. Not because we couldn't understand it, but because someone did. The Labyrinth of Egypt was once called the eighth wonder of the ancient world, a structure so vast it dwarfed the Great Pyramid. And yet today, it exists only in shadows, buried, denied, and whispered about in places no one dare. All the pieces are there. Ancient testimony from Herodotus, Strabo, Diodorus. Mysterious underground grids found in modern scans. And a government's sudden decision to bury the evidence all over again. Why? What lies beneath Hawara that terrifies not only archaeologists, but entire institutions? Some say it's just too big to excavate. Others believe it contains something, a relic, a weapon, or a truth that would shatter everything we know about ancient history. A truth that our civilization might not be ready to face. In 2010, a classified memo leaked online hinted at non-architectural anomalies found in the radar scans. Metallic echoes, frequencies, as if something inside was moving. Chambers that gave off readings. Within weeks, the memo vanished. Today, the labyrinth is officially forgotten. No tours, no signs, no answers. But the sands remember, and the silence speaks louder than any myth. Imagine a hall of coded walls, etched with knowledge from a forgotten world. Imagine sealed chambers that haven't seen light in 4,000 years. Imagine opening them and finding something not of this earth. Or maybe that's already happened. Maybe we're too late. Maybe the labyrinth was found, and what was inside refused to stay buried. In the end, the labyrinth may be more than an ancient ruin. It may be a message, a warning, or a mirror showing us that our history is far more fractured and far more fragile than we've been led to believe. If this journey left you questioning what lies beneath the surface of our past, then this isn't the end. It's a beginning, deliberately hidden, and somewhere deep beneath the desert. The labyrinth is still waiting. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who still believes ancient Egypt has no secrets left to tell. Because the truth may not be lost. It may just be.